friends, how is it going? My name is Ryan Kelly and our adversary today comes from a more recent release. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate came out this February and Mega Man and I have been unable to put it down for the last couple of weeks. And wow, there are so many bosses to choose from. I mean, the bulk of this game is essentially a huge boss rush. But while playing, we were in complete agreement on what our first Monster Hunter episode of Know Your Bosses would be. Speaking of which, there it is now. Our foes, the Kecha Wacha, first introduced in this installment. Location. Aside from the regular essentials, there are a few things you might want to bring along for the hunt. The Kecha Wacha is a water monster, so consider your meal and maybe even your armor accordingly. Fire and lightning weapons could help also too. Also, sonic bombs, flash bombs, and bounce bombs can be pretty beneficial. We'll get into those later. The Kecha Wacha, no matter which map you're hunting on, will always spawn in Area 4, aside from expeditions of course. However, it can move to these areas based on the map. Now to Mega Man for a look into the inspirations that created the Kecha Wacha.
The Monster Hunter series injects each of its monsters with heavy influence from real-life creatures, seeing as I wrote this script, unmade by the way, and I find this stuff super fascinating. I thought I'd be the one to talk about it. Fanged beasts with limbs adapted for swinging through forests and membranes on their forelegs for gliding. When provoked, they shield their face with giant ears, blocking out any loud noises or bright light. Alright, despite being titled the Strange Monkey Fox, the Kecha Wacha is actually much closer in appearance to a lemur. The name derives from Kechak, the name of a Balinese dance, and the Taiwanese word for whimsy. The Kecha Wacha's name is actually identical to its original Japanese name, aside from the space between Kecha and Wacha, added to make the name easier to pronounce. The localization team likes the name's, quote, playful tone and roll off the tongue simplicity. The Kecha Wacha has many distinct traits, making a very alive creature. Foothats primarily include places it has plenty of space to climb and swing around within, as well as abandoned Nersula nests. The Kecha Wacha is omnivorous, eating small vegetation, fruits, and insects, but it falls prey to other larger predators. Its ears have a dual purpose. They can listen for insect larvae in trees when seeking a snack. However, they also alert the Kecha to an incoming attacker. To attempt to save itself, the Kecha will fold its ears over its head. When folded, the ears have unique patterns that give a menacing appearance to frighten its foes. The Kecha cannot see when its ears are folded, but since the ears are closer to the ground, it can better hear other creatures' movements. The Kecha Wacha also has a trunk like that of an elephant that it can suck in and spray out water with. It also has distinct physical traits giving it better mobility. Its hooked claws let it grip slippery vines with the hooked barb at the end of its tail, allowing it to hang upside down like an opossum. Finally, the Kecha can glide like a flying squirrel to seek a meal or to flee from grounded predators.
Strategy. When hunting a Kecha Wacha, the cavern will often leave sonic bombs in the hunter's box, so make sure to go and grab those when you can, in addition to the normal first aid kits, rations, and whatever. As you confront the Kecha normally, keep a few things in mind. It likes to attack directly ahead of itself, or by charging forward. It also has a water projectile, however, as it's using its trunks to fire the projectile. You will usually be close enough that it moves straight over your head, or you will be far enough to dodge. Since the projectiles are fairly small and not too fast, if you attack behind the Kecha, watch for when it turns. its claws will swipe as it turns, so be ready to move out of the way. Like Mega Man discussed earlier, the Kecha can climb vines, and this is an integral part of the fight. When you're standing on top of the vines, it likes to trend below and attempt to surprise you by popping up through the vines. However, when it is desperately clawing at the vines, get ready. If you can react well enough, when the Kecha falls through, you can follow it for an air attack and maybe even a mount. While it is climbing, especially if you're in multiplayer, the Kecha is focused on a ground player. Its claws and tail can be struck from above. You also can attempt to mount the Kecha from a climbing point while it's hanging onto the vines. However, you should attempt a leaping strike. Take caution because it has a fast spinning attack that can easily knock away airborne players. When the Kecha is flying or hanging onto vines, a flash bomb or sonic bomb can force it to the ground as well as temporarily stunning it. When below the vines, a highly effective tactic is to nail the Kecha with a nice bounce bomb. Not only does this deal significant damage, the Kecha will be stunned and grounded. The Kecha's other main tactic in combat involves its ability to fold its ears over its head. This is always indicated when it roars, like when a player is mounting it in this form, the Kecha is much more aggressive. However, without its eyesight, its attacks are more reckless. The damage is far higher when it is in this form. This increased damage will especially be dangerous in earlier hunts. An important thing to keep in mind is the Kecha can still enter this form when its ears are broken. While its ears are covered, it is immune to flash bombs and sonic bombs. The Kecha will sleep by hanging upside down on vines. This is the ideal opportunity to strike with a bounce bomb. Rewards. You can break the Kecha's ear or capture it for a chance to receive an Aqua Sack or its ranked equivalent. A Kecha's armor is weak to thunder and very weak to fire. It's resistant to water and dragon though. Final thoughts. So, because Monster Hunter is so radically different from the other games covered in this video series, the rating approach will be a little different as well. Instead of actually going over every topic, I will simply head straight for the final score. With that said, the Kecha Wacha deserves the rank of Pursue the Fight. Every aspect of the fight is creative, there are so many ways to approach the hunt, and its appearance is bizarre and brilliant. So, Mega Man, what are your final thoughts on the Kecha Wacha?
Personally, rather than using your rating system, I'm just going to give my general thoughts on the boss. I absolutely adore the Kecha Wacha. Not only does it have a plethora of interesting biological qualities, but it's super unique in its use of vines in its ears. Plus, special appreciation must be given to its animation. Its movements are so playful and believable. Despite being introduced fairly early on in the game, the Kecha is extremely inventive and its fight highly enjoyable, and it's possibly my favorite monster I've encountered so far.
Well guys, have you been playing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate? What do you think of the Kecha Wacha? Let me know in the comments below. Was this video helpful with the hunt, or was it just interesting to watch? If so, drop a like on the video and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Know Your Bosses in the future. And while you're at it, be sure to check out some ongoing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Let's Play. I have been doing some single player as well as some online hunting with fellow hunters like Mega Man. That's all the time I've got today, so take care and happy hunting, and I will see you in the next episode of Know Your Bosses.